Hello my friends, it's Krebs here, and we're gonna be checking out the War Thunder 1.35 dev server. Yes, it is up. Some of you have been saying, Krebsy, no it's not up, why are you posting on Facebook how to get on a dev server in 6 easy steps or whatever the video is titled? Yes, it is up, guys. Look, there's hardly any people on the dev server right now. I don't know if it's down or not, and if it is, then I really need to hurry up because I need to take advantage of just the fact that I'm actually able to be here right now speaking to you guys about planes on here. So this is gonna be your guys' summary, one-stop location for everything on the dev server. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do any more videos apart from this. If there is anything important, I'll do more, but I don't see a point in doing individual plane videos. It's just, you know, planes are planes. If there's something spectacular about a certain plane, then why not? But I mean, planes are planes. They kind of fly the same if you flow in other ones. I mean, a lot of models can be quite similar to each other. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So let's get on to the show. This patch has introduced a number of features, including the advent of events. We'll get onto that in a bit. It's included some minute changes and also the addition of 2 new maps and about, I don't know, a dozen or so aircraft to the game. It's not a huge patch, it's not like groundbreaking sort of stuff, but there are a number of additions to the game, and so we'll get onto those additions right now. We're going to start off with the aircraft. So the ones that they've added in a few for the Americans. We have the advent of the P-36G Hawk. Hello, Mr. Hawk over here at Tier 4. New client update. This is why nobody's online right now, because apparently there's a client update. I'm not going to trust it. It might log me out. There's a P-36G Hawk over here. 12.7mm Browning machine guns, 2 of them. 400 ammo. 7.62mm Browning machine guns 4 times. 2,000 ammo. That is crazy. So you can imagine historical battles. This thing is going to be pretty beast. I haven't flown the Hawk in the normal server yet, so I mean, because it's so low tier, you know, I just haven't bothered with it. But just seeing how it goes up from, you know, rank to rank to rank, the armament capacity basically just goes up. So you can imagine this P-36G Hawk is going to be the replacement for the P-40E in Tier 4 matchmaking and historical battles. So I guess Tier 4 and Tier 5 are going to be the same, but you get what I'm saying. If you haven't noticed, there has been a bit of change with the tiers. We're going to get onto that in just a moment after we've talked about all the new additions of planes. So we have that P-36G Hawk. We've also got the addition of new jets that I haven't been able to touch yet. Hello Sabre, the F-486A5, and also the F-86F2. Now I haven't touched the jets, so please don't ask me like, Krebs, what are they like? What are jets like? How are they going to compete to other jets? Krebs, do you like flying at high speeds? Krebs, do you like sonic booms? I like sonic booms, but I don't know anything about these jets right now. I just know that they're very fast, the Sabres. Look at this. Actually, we have the fastest jet, I think, over here, 1,118 kilometers per hour. But one of you guys were asking me, one of you guys, the fans, were asking me, Krebs, so has the Sabres gotten any cannons on them? Because currently we just had Browning machine guns, and yes, they have. With the F-86 F2 Sabre, they've got 4 20mm cannons. So if you're lacking in firepower, well, you have no excuses now. You've got cannons on your Sabres. So happy days to all you jet fighters who love your Sabres. You have an awesome addition. So those are the 3 new planes that they've added in for the Americans. It's so many planes that now you have to actually scroll around. Amazing. So apart from that, they've also changed a few tiers on and up over here. So the Kitty Hawk has changed from Tier 4 to Tier 5. I guess it's just too much of a beast. The Airacobras have gone up from Tier 6 to Tier 7. I guess they're too much of a beast again. And the Thunderbolt went down from Tier 9 to Tier 8 because I guess it was just a bit too high for its performance. But still, you know, it's going to be the same matchmaking. Tier 8, Tier 9 is the same in the matchmaker, so I don't know what that is. I really don't know. There probably is some sort of ninja matchmaking that Gaijin has and that's how they sort out stuff. 225 people. There has to be some sort of update. If we go on over to the Germans, did the Germans get anything? Yes, they did. They got this thing right here. They got the Focke-Wulf 190 A5. So the first Focke-Wulf previously was the A5 U3. Now there's the A5, which sits at a comfortable tier 10 very, very early on. It doesn't have the exact same armaments as the U3, but it has pretty damn good armaments as well. So let's take a quick side-by-side shot comparison. This is the U3 that we're used to. This is the A5 that we're going to be getting used to. Maximum speed looks kick-ass. Looks pretty damn much better than the U3, including the turn time. Oh my gosh. Wow, I'm just absorbing this in right now, but that looks awesome. This thing is going to be a lot more maneuverable than these later models of Focke-Wulf. They don't have the exact same armaments. The Focke-Wulf A5 190 A5 that they're adding has only 4 cannons, but it has 4 cannons from the get-go. Normally the Focke-Wulfs have 2 cannons and you add on the additional gun pods, and that gives a +4, total of 6. So now it starts off with 4 cannons, and you can work your way up to getting rockets. 210mm rockets. Yes, you can say screw you to bombers now. You can be rocketing them, blow them apart with your rockets. If that makes you happy, you sadistic person, people, you. But that's all that they've added for the Germans. If we go on over to the Russians, no, not the Brits, the Russians, they have gotten a few things as well. They've gotten the LA5 and the LA5F. Alright, so they actually were supposed to come out in the last patch, 1.33, and they were on the 1.33 dev server, but they didn't make it to the final release, and so they should be coming out now, the LA5 and the LA5F. I'm not going to be talking about these planes too much because they really don't look that much different from the LA5FN apart from flight parameters. Gun looks pretty much exactly the same, yep. The B-25 J-30 Mitchell, medium bomber, they added in for premium tier 9. If you love bombing, then there you go. Will Krebsy be bombing with it? No. Will Krebsy buy it? Yep. That's just the way I am. Brits, if we go check them out, have they gotten anything? Why do I want to say no? Well, probably because, Krebs, you're right. They haven't gotten anything. I'm sorry, guys. If you were hoping for something for the Brits, there is nothing for the Brits this time. For the Japanese, we have a few. And by few, I mean literally just a few. We have the addition of the Ki-102 Otsu. I don't want to show you guys the stats yet because something awesome. You're about to see something very awesome. And they've also added the Ki-96. And they're both heavy fighters. The Ki-96 is a premium. And damn it, why did I buy it? Well, you guys should have been able to see. I'm sorry. I don't remember what the price of it was. It was like 1,900 or something like that. It wasn't that much. But that's the two they've added. And they've also changed the Focke-Wulf 190 here. They've given it an additional 2 cannons. So now it has a total of 4. Because previously it had 2. Now it has a total of 4 cannons. Which is cool. But here we go. This is where it gets interesting. The Ki-102 Otsu. Heavy fighter. Now, look at that. Blimey me, if you have not noticed it by now, 57mm cannon. 50 freaking 7mm. That is the biggest cannon ever. I mean, you know, we had 50mm on the ME410s. Now we have a 57mm. This is essentially a tank. It's a flying tank. This Ki-102 Otsu. I'm just gonna take a quick drink of water here. Whew. So much to go over. Now it has 16 ammo, and you might be asking me, Krebs, how does it fire? Does it go like dun, dun? I wouldn't say that slow. Not like the 50mm on the ME410. It goes more like dun, dun, dun. Okay, you can get about 3 shots with it before it starts. You can get 4 shots, but then it would jam itself. So 3 would be the safety. It is it's not like a, you know, fast-firing rapid cannon. You guys are going to see a little bit of gameplay with it. It's not like a fast-fire rapid cannon, but it can shoot decently fast, I would say. So that's your additions for the Japanese, but I'm not that happy with them. I was hoping that the Japanese would have gotten a little bit more, because up to tier 9, I guess, well, the early tiers of the Japanese are pretty bad, to be honest. And then at tier 9, they're actually fine. Because of, you know, the A6M3 mod 22, the A6M3, A6M2, some of the earlier Kais are fine, but at tier 12 they are really atrocious. Not because they're bad planes, but because everything else is better. When you're at the stage of Fokker Wolves, you know, 190s with 6 cannons, you have Spitfires with amazing cannons, you know, 4 times Hispanos with good turn time, blah blah blah, and then you're stuck with these Japanese planes with 2 20mm cannons, still wood, you know, paper thin, because they're just made out of wood. They're just very easy to kill, poorly underpowered, and I was really hoping that they would have gotten a little bit more. Shit, it looks like server's under maintenance. Bear with me, guys, bear with me. Okay, well, I guess the dev server just went down literally right in the middle of me making a video. Damn, devs, you really don't have consideration for Krebs making videos. Yeah, a little bit of a coincidence. The dev server's down, so I'm gonna have to continue by showing you some stock footage I have prepared just maybe about half an hour ago of me making this video of trying out the new Kai. I can't remember the number already of it, but the one with the 57mm cannon. It's on a new map on what's the map name? I'm struggling to see it with this very small. Peaks of Despair. Very small screen. Peaks of Despair is the name of it. I'll get on to more of talking about it, but you guys can watch the footage while I keep on talking. So, as I was saying, I was really hoping that the Japanese would have gotten more fighters added, because as you can see in front of your screen, there are plenty more in the release tree that could come. And I feel like the Japanese at tier 12, tier 10, 11, 12 really need some more fighters to compete against the enemies, and especially good fighters as well. And I'm not talking about ones that, you know, can't kill anything. And I guess dying easily is okay, but just the amount of kill assists you'll get is too damn high. So just something that with a bit better power would be nice. But that is the Japanese for you guys. This map is one of the 2 new maps that we're on. Peaks of Despair. There's also another one. I can't remember the name. The name escapes me. You can check it when I post in the description box below what the other one is. But essentially what it reminds me of is like Alpine Meadows, but I think the story behind it was some sort of avalanche, and now you have 2 enemies fighting at each other, I guess. And it looks something out of like Switzerland almost, you know, I don't know, the Alps, and just it looks very scenic, tranquil, but kind of mundane and dull and sort of plain of a map, if you ask me. Just this big open lake stretched out across a valley of mountains. And I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play out to be. It looks kind of close quarters, seeing how close the enemy teams are to each other. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you're going to see it here in a second. I swear these bombers have gotten a buff in their damage or something. I just feel like it anyway, because they're just wrecking down the paint. Not only this time, but also my next flyout. So I don't know if they've gotten a buff or something. At least not that I've read, but maybe I'm just unlucky. Maybe I'm just flying out with a Japanese plane. That's what happens. But this is one of the new maps that they've added. So now I'm going to skip on over to some different footage of the events. And do you see that button just floating in the middle of your screen at the top left? That is events. I know you guys didn't get to see much of what it was. You can pause the video if you want to check out exactly what was written there. But the idea behind events is that it basically allows Gaijin to set up battles with specific planes against each other. It's going to incorporate both historical and arcade battles, and what it does is it puts you on certain maps, the ones you choose. You got to see that there. You get to choose certain maps, and that depend on which mode that you play. And when you play those maps, you're limited to using certain planes. Okay, you can go on one of two factions, you say Germans or Brits, and then you're limited to using certain planes of a certain, I don't know, era, I guess, or maybe historical accuracy, what appeared in that battle. And it's only allowed up to a certain number. So say, for example, if you had B-17E flying fortresses, there might be a limit of 2 in that battle. So if there's 30 waiting in the matchmaker, only 2 are going to be allowed to get into the match at a time because there's a limit placed on them. So I guess it gives Gaijin a bit of controls of what they would like to see. I think it's also, it puts you against random people, so you can't go up in squads or anything like that. So if you hate coming up against, you know, clans and stuff like that, squadrons, I guess you can go out against random people. At least that's what I think it is. Maybe I'm sort of pulling that out of my hat. Don't know if it's true or not, but it might be. But yeah, it basically allows you just to go into certain matches that are restricted to certain planes of a certain quantity. Blah 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 blah. Is it good? I guess it might be a bit of fun. But yeah, that kind of summarizes it, guys. There is one last thing I want to mention in historical battles. And now I don't know if this is the one, if this includes historical battles with in the matchmaker, but in the events anyway, and I think it's only in the events to be fair, you can't see icons when you tab to the leaderboard. So you might just notice that when I tab to the leaderboard, there are no icons on the enemy planes anymore, so you can't predict what the planes they're going to be flying out with. I mean, you know generally what roster of planes there might be, but I'm not sure if you're going to be up against those exact number of planes, or if they might mix it up here and there. So yeah, that's that for the events, and that kind of summarizes pretty much it. I mean, there were some other changes, you know, changing some ammo quantities on the the IO-4 or something like that, giving it torpedoes. They've fixed some bugs. They've changed some maps around slightly. I think like on rice terraces, I think they might have changed the way that ground targets move or something like that. You know, some minor stuff that I'm not going to be able to cover in this video just because it'd be so minute to talk about it. So, you know, yeah. I guess we'll probably leave it there, guys. That is pretty much it for 1.35. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of content, does it? Now you might understand where Krebsy was coming from. So if you're looking forward to it, put your hands up. Am I looking forward to it? Nah, I guess. Could have been a little bit more, but can't complain. These things come as they come. 2 new maps. 2 new maps, that's what I'm looking forward to. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is Krebsy Poo, and I love you all. I don't know why I said that, but I'll catch you all later. Leave me alone.